Hello, my friends. So I just returned from a backpacking trip in Michigan with my younger cousin, Isaiah. And I would like to share with you some of that experience. This video is inspired from a conversation that we had during this trip. Now, we like to do this sometimes yearly to go backpacking because the way that we do it, it tends to be quite uncomfortable. And I'm a big advocate, as you know, of placing oneself in voluntary discomfort. And it has to be voluntary, right? So you might say, well, Nate, these pictures in this video I can see is very nice and serene and peaceful, which is very much so true. But it's not that comfortable because we just sleep in a hammock. We don't bring a tent. We don't bring chairs or anything even remotely like that, or a cooler full of stuff, and nothing. We just bring the bare essentials in the backpack. We get there, we hike as far as we can, do sand dunes and all kinds of things. We camp for the night, start a fire with the flint and steel, and then break camp and hike as far as we can the next day, and then do it all over again. And like that is the backpacking experience we have. So I find it very good for the soul to experience that, to just say, okay, well, this is not really that comfortable, but I can persevere no matter what. And to get used to sitting with that sensation that's in the body of discomfort and learning not to fear it, learning not to run from it. And so with that in mind, the inspiration for this video came about because it was a conversation that Isaiah and I was having. And after the conversation, he said, you know what, you should make a video about that topic because he watches these. So here we go, young brother, I'm making it. So I was saying to him that there are, in my experience, 3 types of ways of dealing with life situations. Okay. So let us say, for example, that you are feeling uneasy, that maybe there is fear or worry about the future, or there's uncertainty that's eating away at you, or that you have regret about something that you've done, or that, oh man, my life is just not really that fulfilling. Maybe you just feel kind of bored with life. Maybe you're kind of waiting for something to happen to make your life, to give your life meaning. You know, maybe, and this is all, I'm just saying hypothetical. There can be so many situations, but just roll with it, hear me. So maybe you're feeling just a general sense of this is it, like this is life. Maybe that this isn't how it should be happening. It can be any of these feelings, but point being, you just have a general dis-ease within you, a non-ease, okay, a non-satisfaction. Now, most people would be in category 1, which I call the deflectors. These are the people that immediately, they don't even register that this uneasy feeling or any of its attributes, they don't even register this. They just immediately, as soon as the sensation of dis-ease or uneasiness comes, they deflect it to an outside source. They will, a very common one is they'll have a drink. How many people you know every night have a drink? Or in any social circumstance, they have to have a drink. They don't really know how to be social without it. And this is deflecting, okay? Because they don't want to feel whatever this feeling that they're feeling. Now, having a drink's a very obvious one, but people do it with all different kinds of things. They will deflect experiencing that sensation with entertainment. They'll put a movie on. Oh, they're just feeling this. So they'll just put a movie on, or they'll scroll through their phone. We see this everywhere. So many people now just scrolling through the phone, not really sure why they're doing it. They're just doing it because there's this uneasy feeling within them. Okay. Now, people also use sports in this way, you know, to really, oh, what's my team doing? Okay. So they project. They project onto the team and use that to deflect the experience that they're having. And you understand what I'm saying? Many people will use food. That's a very big one. People when they feel a sense of unease or discomfort or lackluster, they will go after food because they know that it will spark some of those reward systems in the brain. I'll just eat something salty or fatty or comfort food. Yeah, that's where the term comes from, comfort food. It just gives us comfort when we're not really feeling up to par or all that well, okay? People also use sexual experiences in this way, big time, because it pulls them out of whatever they're kind of feeling. There are so many manifestations of the ways people deflect feeling what they're feeling, okay? So I'm sure you could come up with a number of different ways. What are some? Go ahead and leave them in the comments. What are some ways that you deflect what you're feeling or you witness in others? It's a lot easier to witness it in others, that they deflect the way that they're feeling. What are some techniques that they do? So the second category is the people that I call the strong arms, okay? So these are the people that have probably begun to work on themselves a bit, and so they are able to recognize when fear or remorse or regret or uneasiness, they're able to recognize when these sensations are arising. But they are still under the impression that they can take their willpower and bend the situation to conform to their wishes. They say, okay, I'm feeling worry or fear, but I'm not going to feel it because that's not the way a spiritual person would feel, or that's not the way I believe that someone who is healed would react. That's not how they would feel. So I'm not going to feel that. And we see this a lot in the spiritual sort of theater with people that believe themselves to be very spiritually advanced. They will attempt to overcome whatever they're feeling and to stuff it back down into there and, do all different kinds of things. But what they're actually doing is sort of deflecting it, just like the first category of people, but in a different way. Okay? Now, the third group of people is what I call those who have surrendered. The third group understands that the key to victory is in surrender. But this kind of surrender does not mean defeat, not at all. This is the kind that says, okay, I recognize the feeling. I recognize the feeling of fear, of uneasiness, or just general uncertainty about my life, or unfulfillment. I recognize that. But you know what? That's all right. I'm not afraid of you any longer. That's what the third option says. It says, you know what? I don't care how bad it feels to feel what is arising within me. I am no longer going to run from it. I'm going to stand my ground and draw the line right here and say, you know what? All these things that are making me feel uneasy, all these years I've been deflecting them, doing so many other activities. For so long, I've been looking out there to make in here a more peaceful place. But those who have come to the third option, the level of surrender, they say, all right, it's okay to feel whatever I'm feeling. I don't need to feel any other way. Because the people in surrender know, they have seen that all things are arising and passing. All things are in a constant state of transition. And so there's no need to hold on to anything. Nothing is permanent. And so they don't try to say, oh, well, I'm feeling regret, or I'm feeling sadness or remorse or fear, and that's who I am. I am afraid. They know none of that is the truth. They've recognized that their own nature is that of infinite energy, just pure energy. And so they have surrendered to the flow of their life and the flow of anything that comes across the screen of their consciousness. Anything that comes across the screen. They witness it as it comes in and as it passes, as all things do. So the third option, which is very rare indeed, but this is why I'm describing it. The third option of people, they are like, imagine it this way. Most people, their whole life, they are walking against the current. There's a river flowing this way, okay? And they are battling against the current. And they have the belief that life is tough and you have to overcome and you have to struggle, and life is just a non-stop battle for survival. And so they are all their beliefs and their heavy baggage and everything is going against the flow of life. Life is flowing at them like a river, but they're saying, no, I'm going this way. And they're fighting and getting through it. And most people will live their whole lives battling against the flow of life. And all different manifestation of dis-ease is created through this resistance. Because no matter how hard you try, you'll never overpower the river of life. So, those who have surrendered have understood this, and they have said, now wait a minute. How about instead of battling against the river continuously for the rest of my life, like I have been, why don't I just stop, turn around, and suddenly flow with the river? And the moment they do this, they see that the river carries them. And now they have all the power of the river behind them. In everything that they do, the power of the river is flowing through them, through their actions, through their life energy. And they have access to a power that is completely limitless and beautiful in its manifestations. So, I was describing this to my young cousin, who is like a young brother to me, because he's the kind that he has a very spiritual inclination in life. Very proud of this young man. So I wanted to illustrate to him the three types and show him that the third type is very possible, right? It is possible to flow with life and accept whatever is coming at you as woven in the fabric of your destiny. You don't have to feel any other way than how you are now. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Watch it as it flows across the screen of your life. And you will find a level of peace that is always there. It's always there in surrender. Okay, my friends, let me know. Have you experienced these three states? Where would you say you are? Are you in the deflector state? Are you in the strong arm state where you can overcome this thing through willpower? Or have you learned to surrender? And are you flowing with life?
Oh man, you got that on video? I can't get up.
You can't get up because we just filled our bags full of sand. See, from this sacred spot, because we are going to use this for the incense burner. But it's very heavy sand. Bags of sand.
I had like another 10 pounds in my bag.
Yeah, Zay's carrying most of it, which that's good. It's better that way. Zay's sun gazing.